most people don't understand why artists even create art in the first place. This is why whenever I create art or create some kind of painting or something, the first thing that somebody who sees it would ask me is that why aren't you selling your work? You could be making so much money. Your art is just there, collecting dust. And like I understand what they're saying, their point of view, but what I want to ask is, do people even understand what motivates an artist to create art? Because let's be honest, it is not the most logical and rational decision to become an artist, especially in today's economy. Everybody knows about how artists are treated even throughout history, and how artists are, like the starving artist stereotypes exist, and like doing an arts degree, like a fine arts degree, is basically like a meme degree. Nobody takes it seriously. Like people would literally say that you just wasted 4 years of your life studying for an arts degree, you know. And like if you're like a smart person, logically what you would do is you would go for a STEM degree. You would study to become a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer, data scientist, whatever. Any like in demand field, like any field that would help you make money, give you like a stable income, a stable job, where you don't have to spend like doing a time doing minimum wage jobs just to survive, just to scrape by and hoping for your big break where you just become like a huge artist. Like, honestly, it doesn't seem like a very logical decision to study for not study an arts degree and pursue art as a profession, yet artists do it anyway and nobody questions why. Like, honestly, it sounds like a pretty insane and irrational decision to become an artist. Like, it kind of goes against our survival instinct as well. And today's world, money is how you survive. And by choosing to pursue art, you're kind of going in the exact opposite direction, but yet you do it anyway. And that is because people fundamentally misunderstand why an artist would even create art. Why would they spend time doing that? And in my opinion, the reason why somebody would spend their time creating art is usually because um, they want to find somebody who can relate to their experiences. Usually, like most of the time, people don't really care about art, let's be honest. They just reduce it to pretty pictures, aesthetically pleasing visuals, and just something that looks nice, like it's very surface level understanding of what art is, until somebody goes through something traumatic, like maybe their friend um, had an accident, maybe they lost a loved one, maybe they had a breakup, maybe their relationship didn't work out, maybe they lost their job, maybe they just had a really really stressful day. And then art becomes not just a mean of sustenance but also survival. Then you need art more than you need oxygen, because art is the thing that could literally save your life. It could literally give you another day to live. It could literally become a reason why you breathe. And before that, it basically meant nothing. And I think that is where the motivation probably lies too, for why an artist would spend their entire life creating art that could basically have no monetary value, that could just be sitting in a studio collecting dust. And that is what people misunderstand as to why somebody would spend their time creating art. And most artists, they probably feel like they're misunderstood. Maybe they feel like they can't find anything that they can relate to. And it doesn't always have to be something like negative. It can also be something really positive, like, like maybe you fell in love, maybe you found that one special person, like you want to find something that you can relate to. You want to figure out if somebody else before me in this life has been through the exact same situation that I'm going through right now. You want to be able to relate. You want to feel like you're part of a collective. You want to feel like you're part of a community, like a human race. That's what you want to feel like. And that is why I think most artists, they create art, because they want to feel like they belong, because art is their language. That is how they express the feeling of wanting to belong, right? And how do you fit in our current model of just doing everything to make money? Like the money has to be like the end all be all, that has to be the end of everything. That has to be the end result. No matter what you do, it has to provide you money, and if it doesn't, that you're wasting your time. Like, I just find it ironic that people, they spend their whole lives doing jobs that they don't even like. Most of the time, some people do actually love doing their jobs, something that they're passionate about, but most people, they just do it to get a paycheck, just so they can buy things, or they can buy time to do things that they want to do. And me, I'm already doing what I want to do with my time, which is creating art, which is something that I'm passionate about. And I just have a great time just getting lost in my own little world for like hours on end. So I'm kind of already living the life that I would ideally be living if I did have a good high paying job. Like, what do you think I would be doing with when I come home from work and I just have all this time to myself? Like, what do you think I would be doing on a vacation, on a holiday? Like things that people literally use money to buy themselves. That is exactly what I'm already doing with my art. I'm creating art that I would have done anyways. And to suggest that I'm wasting my time doing this because I'm not actively making money from it, at least yet, it's just very heartbreaking, and it makes me feel very misunderstood. And it makes me feel like people don't really understand why I make art in the first place. To them, it's for monetary reasons. That has to be the only reason why I do this, but I don't. And that's just, as an artist, breaks my heart. And if you're an artist and you're watching this, let me know if you relate to this sentiment. It's just something that I've been thinking about, and honestly, it does discourage me from creating art, because I just become so focused on how I can like market my art and how I can make money off of it. And that just takes away from me just being in the present moment and just enjoying the art that I'm creating currently. And it just ruins the creative process for me. It ruins just me enjoying making art. It takes away the fun of it. And I just want to know if it is the same for you. And I would love to create a community of just artists where we just create art and not have to worry about just making money off of it. Of course, I know that it is very important for people to make money in order to survive, and for some people, their art is the way of living, but I kind of want to detach myself from that fact for at least when I am in the process of creating art, because I don't want the thought of, will this artwork make me money, to distract me from actually enjoying the creative process. And it is literally about the creative process. That is the important part. And of course, if you're not an artist, if you're a layman, then of course you won't understand that. And of course, if you're somebody who's an artist in a place, in an environment where you feel misunderstood and you're not surrounded by other artists, you're like the only one, it can feel very discouraging and isolating. And I would just encourage you to just put your thoughts out on the internet and try to connect with other artists, because these are the only people who truly understand what it's like, what our, as an artist, what our headspace is like. You could try explaining it to somebody who's not an artist, but they wouldn't really understand. Trust me, I tried that. But that is just something that I wanted to just get off my chest. I hope you uh, get some insight from this video. Hopefully you can relate, and I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. And this is Girl in a Closet signing off.